Hey guys, it's me KSMR here, and today I'm going to be reading a Tsukishima Kei ex-listener. This one is titled The Memories of You, and without further ado, let's right on into the video. Flashback. I love you, Kei, you said while smiling at your boyfriend. I know, Tsukishima replied. You started pouting while staring at him. Tell me you love me. What if I die tomorrow and you never get the chance to tell me again? Don't say such silly things, he said while he flicked your forehead. Current time. Thinking back on it now, Tsukishima wished he could have told you that he loved you back. He loved you so much that it hurt. He loved you so much that he didn't even know what to do when you left. He regretted all those times he should have told you how much he loved you and just how much you meant to him. He shouldn't have walked away, but now it was too late. Flashback. Kei, would you miss me if I left for a really long time? You asked out of curiosity. Nope, I'd function just as fine without you here, Tsukishima replied coldly. Really? You asked, a slight grin appearing on your face. Yep. Well, remember that time I went away for the week for my cousin's wedding? Yeah, he replied, not liking where this is going. Well, Yama told me that someone was acting particularly grumpy and would wait for me after practice even though I wasn't around. Blushing, he replied, I don't know what you're talking about. He started walking faster to prevent you from seeing his blushing face as he just laughed while walking behind him. Current time. Valentine's Day. It made Tsukishima want to gag. He hated Valentine's Day. He dreaded it even more now that you were gone. It was just another day filled with memories of you. And it was the day that you had confessed to him. Flashback. Tsukishima didn't know why he allowed you to drag him out into the corridor. Maybe it was because a small part of him hoped that he would be receiving chocolates from you. Kei, we've been friends for a while now, and I want to know what you're like. Yama told me that you liked me, and if that were true, I know you wouldn't confess to me first. You started nervously. So, I really like you, and this is for you. Please accept my feelings. You yelled out the last part, shoving a bag into his hands and running off. Oi, come back here, dumbass, Tsukishima yelled after you. He sighed and decided to look inside of the bag. Inside was a heart-shaped box tied with a ribbon. Carefully, he took it out and untied it, and the contents made him grin. You really meant it when you had said that you knew him well. You had given him chocolate-coated strawberries. Current time. Tsukishima didn't want to celebrate his birthday. Not without you. He never liked to celebrate his birthdays to begin with, but when you were around, you would insist on doing something for him. Every year, you never failed to plan something for him. One year, you went to an aquarium. The other time, you stayed at his home and just watched movies with him. The thing that he loved about you was the fact that you didn't need or feel the need to go out on fancy dates. You just wanted to spend time with him. But the last birthday you spent with him was the most memorable. Flashback. The aroma of baked goods filled your home as Tsukishima had stepped in. He knew what you were baking without even looking. It had to be strawberry shortcake because it was his birthday. Kei, you're home, you exclaimed and ran over to him to give him a kiss. Happy birthday, Kei. I love you. Tsukishima mumbled a thanks and blushed. This year, we're going to a museum. The Natural History Museum just opened a new dinosaur exhibit, and I got us tickets. You grinned at him. He merely nodded, even though on the inside, he was jumping for joy. Alright, we'll leave it an hour. Just let me finish the frosting on the cake and put it in the fridge. Do you want to join me in the oh. Sorry. Do you want to join me in the shower afterwards? Tsukishima smirked and nodded at you. Needless to say, it took more than an hour for you to leave your house. When you had got to the museum, Tsukishima couldn't contain himself and started pointing out all the different dinosaurs and told you fun facts about them. He showed you which ones were his favorites and told you a detail as to why they were his favorites. He kept talking, and every once in a while, he would look over to you and make sure you were listening. You didn't love dinosaurs, but you did love the sparkle in Tsukishima's eyes whenever he talked about them. You knew it was a good choice to come to the museum. I'm sorry for talking so much, Ryan. he said, nervously, while blushing. I'm sure you're bored, so we can leave now. What are you talking about, Kei? There's so many dinosaurs that we haven't even checked out yet. Let's go. You nodded as you dragged him to another section in the exhibit. Tsukishima felt his heart swell up and he blushed super hard. So you were listening, he thought. He thought you were just nodding along for his benefit, but it actually surprised him that you were actually remembering the facts that he told you about. But then again, he shouldn't be surprised because he knew that you remembered a lot of things about him. Ooh, what's this one called, Kei? You broke his train of thoughts with your question. He looked over to where you were pointing and told you the name of the dinosaur and some fun facts about it. At that moment, he knew that you were the only one he wanted to spend the rest of his life with. Current time. As he sits alone in the house you bought together a few years ago, Tsukishima... Wow, nope. Restarting that one. Current time. As he sits alone in the house the two of you had bought in a few years ago, Tsukishima remembers how long it took for you to finally decide on this place. You both decided to move back to Miyagi. Before that, you were living in a shabby apartment in Tokyo. The real estate agent showed you apartments and houses, but all of them just didn't seem right to you. Flashback. Can you hurry up and decide on one? I'm getting tired, Tsukishima said, clearly annoyed at how long you were taking to decide. It had been a long day of traveling to different parts of town, and Tsukishima was at his limit, but for your sake, he let you drag him around all over the place. I can't. We haven't seen anything I really liked yet, Kei. I don't want to live in a house that I don't absolutely love, you whined. The real estate agent mentioned that he might know a place that you would like, and then proceeded to drive you to that location. As soon as you had stepped out of the car, Tsukishima looked over to you and knew that this was where you would be living from now on. It was a cozy yet spacious house with a big backyard. You didn't even bother following the real estate agent around as he tried to navigate you through the house. Instead, you walked around the house at your own pace, visualizing exactly how you wanted it to be decorated. You fell in love instantly with that house. We'll take it. Current time. Moving in day was one of the memories that you and Tsukishima would be most fond of. Up till then, he didn't really say much about the house, but he was secretly really happy to be moving in, and out of your guys' small, shabby apartment, and now into this spacious new home. You had insisted that you didn't need to hire movers, and that you both could just move the boxes yourself. Flashback. I told you we should have hired movers, Tsukishima exclaimed. I'm sorry, it's just our apartment is so small, I didn't think we had that much furniture. Looking around your living room, you now see over 40 packed boxes. It's gonna take us at least 4 trips to move around all of these. You sighed. I'm sorry, Kei. I'll go call movers now, okay? My voice is doing something weird, I'm sorry. Tsukishima just nodded and wondered why he didn't try hard enough to convince you to hire movers in the first place. He inwardly groaned at how dumb you were to think that you could actually manage to move all of his stuff on your own. Kei, the movers said that they could only come the day after tomorrow, so I guess we'll have to stay here one more night. I'll give the landlord a call. Stay the night? With no electricity or running water? Are you crazy? He merely grinned and cheekily nodded. We can cuddle up to stay warm. You would be the death of him. Current time. He remembers how you laid together in bed that one cold winter night, and had planned out every aspect of your future together. Tsukishima didn't like getting too far ahead of himself, but he was ready to spend the rest of his life with you. He couldn't picture a future without you in it. Time skip. Or not time skip, sorry. Flashback. Kei, do you think you'll marry me and we'll grow old together? Well, I can't say that I don't want to marry you, and everyone else is far too obnoxious for me anyways, Tsukishima answered, and he was glad that it was dark so he couldn't see how red his face was. Well, I love you, Kei, and I don't think I could spend the rest of my life with anyone else but you. Don't say stuff like that, he stuttered. You giggled and pecked him on the lips. He held your head and pulled you in for a deeper kiss. I don't think I even want I don't think I ever want to move. It's a great house, and it's the perfect size for a family, don't you think? For once, Tsukishima decided to let go and talk about the future with you. Yeah, I mean, we have spare rooms that could easily be turned into a nursery or a playroom. You were shocked at the fact that he agreed with you. It wasn't very like him to want to talk about such things. Nevertheless, you grinned and continued. I think we should get a dog. I mean, we both love dogs, so we should get one soon and we can have that in the house. I think we should get a big dog. If dinosaurs were real, I bet you want to get one of those instead of a dog. You teased. Tsukishima chuckled and pecked your lips. I love you, YN. I love you too, Kei. I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you. Present time. He remembers vividly what had happened when the doctor told you that there wasn't a cure for your illness. But he told you not to give up hope because maybe there was treatments out there. Tsukishima searched high and low for experts to consult you about potential treatments, and he put you on every single one of them, but yet nothing worked. Flashback. I was supposed to say backflash. Anaki, I don't know what to do. Nothing's working. Tsukishima called his brother, crying. Kei, just take a few deep breaths. Don't give up. You'll find something, Akitoru said, calmly responding. But what if I don't? I've spoken to all of these experts and put her on so many treatments, but they've all suggested that nothing's gonna work. I don't want to lose her. Kei, I can't lose her. What am I gonna do without her? I'm scared, Anaki. I'm really scared. Our current time. He remembers saying those exact words to you a few days later. You were shocked, to say the least. After all of these years of dating Tsukishima, you had never once seen him cry. It had been too much. He was holding in everything for so long that he just snapped and broke down in front of you. How are you, Kei? You asked, knowing that he had been through a lot. I'm fine. How about you? How are your treatments doing? Well, the doctor doesn't think anything's gonna help, and I can't really feel any different. You answered honestly. Tsukishima sighed and put his head in his hands. We're running out of options, YN. We've tried almost everything, and nothing's working. I don't know what else I can do. I don't want to give up. Tsukishima started sobbing. I don't want to lose you, YN. I can't think of the rest of my life without you. I don't want to lose you. You put your hand under his chin and lifted his face up to meet yours and smiled at him. Hey, I love you so much, but if there's nothing more we can do, then so be it. I'm scared too, but I've accepted my fate a long time ago. I don't want to leave you, Kei, but you're not God, and there's only so much you can do to help me. Current time. It was a beautiful, clear day, but Tsukishima had dark clouds looming over him wherever he went. He barely spoke, barely ate, barely slept, and for the past few days ever since your passing. Your funeral had been held a few days later, and there was a high number of attendance in which people showed up because of how much they love you. Tsukishima was, of course, one of those people. He gave a short speech before they buried you. As they lowered your casket, he just stared and stared and stared. He couldn't believe that you were gone. He refused to leave your grave. He sat there and talked to you for hours. He told you about all the things he should have done when you were still alive. I lied about eating your share of the strawberry shortcake, but in my defense, you knew it was my favorite flavor, so how could I have controlled myself? He chuckled to himself. I miss you. You should have seen how many people turned up. So many people loved you. I love you. I should have told you that more often. I'm sorry. And he started sobbing again. Eventually, his brother had to carry him out of the cemetery into his car and drove him back to his house after Tsukishima had fallen asleep. Tsukishima felt like the boxes filled with your things were just mocking him. They were a painful reminder that the person he loved so much was gone. He was angry, so angry. He dumped out all the contents of one of your boxes and set it on fire in the backyard. He emotionlessly stared at the fire, but something caught his eye as he immediately dumped a bucket of water onto the fire. He picked up the thin piece of plastic, or the thin piece of fabric, and stared at it as memories began to rush back. You wore it on your first date. Your favorite colored scarf. Kei, you buy me ice cream, he whined. You have money, go buy one yourself, Tsukishima responded, annoyed. But we're on a date, that's not how it works, he pouted. If I get you ice cream, will you stop bugging me? Yes. Fine. One flavor of your favorite ice cream, and one strawberry, he told the vendor. He didn't like spending money, but the look on your face and a dazzling smile you had shot him when he had handed you your ice cream made it worth every single penny he had. Current time. Going through your things wasn't easy, but he knew that he would have to do it eventually. Amongst your things, he came across a charm bracelet he had given to you on your first anniversary. It was the first gift that he had ever given you. It had started with only one charm, an ice cream, but throughout the years, Tsukishima secretly added more. Now there was a total of 5 charms: an ice cream, a volleyball, a dinosaur, a strawberry, and a music note. He had them all custom made, and it cost a lot of money, so he remembers how you got into a huge fight when you had thought that you had lost it. Flashback. He noticed for the past few days you had been trying to avoid him, but living in the same house didn't necessarily make it easy. You couldn't avoid him during meals, so he decided to confront you then. Why have you been avoiding me? Tsukishima asked bluntly. You avoided his gaze and replied, I don't know what you're talking about. I can tell when you're lying, YN. I'm done eating. Thanks for the meal. You stood up to go to the sink, but Tsukishima grabbed your wrist, and that's when you realized something was wrong. You weren't wearing your charm bracelet. You had always wore it, and you only took it off when you showered. Thinking back on it now, he hadn't seen you wear it for the past few days, which was really odd. Where's your bracelet? He questioned. In my room. Why? You asked nervously. Can I see it? Why do you need to see it? I want to add a new charm, he replied. Well, you can pass the charm to me, and I'll add it on myself, Kei. I want to do it. I always do it. Stop being so stubborn and let me add it myself, you argued. Well, why don't you stop being so stubborn so I can do it? I can't find it, you exclaimed and started sobbing. I looked for it everywhere, but I can't seem to find it. I've been avoiding you for the past few days because I didn't know how to tell you. I'm so sorry, Kei. You lost it? Do you know how much that bracelet cost? How could you be so stupid? He yelled. I didn't mean it, Kei. I know how much it costs. I'm not stupid. Well, you're clearly fucking irresponsible since you can't even look after one fucking bracelet, dumbass. I said I was sorry. I didn't mean to misplace it. I looked everywhere. Well, try looking harder, Tsukishima growls. He walks over to his office and slams the door shut. You started to clear the dishes while sobbing. In his office, Tsukishima wonders how you could have replaced something so expensive, or how you could replace something so expensive. Did it really mean so little to you that you could have so easily misplaced it? He sighed and opened up the drawer and pulled out a notebook, and that's where he saw it. The bracelet. It was in his drawer. He suddenly remembered how he had taken it a few days ago to add another charm, but didn't have time to put it back and promptly forgot about it. He had inwardly cursed himself and took it out. You heard someone clear their throat as you were washing the dishes. You turned around to see Tsukishima standing there with a guilty expression and the bracelet in his hand. So I kind of found it in my drawer. Tsukishima starts nervously while rubbing the back of his neck. I actually took it a few days ago to add a new charm and kind of forgot to give it back to you. So, sorry for calling you stupid. He smacked him on the back of the head and stuck your tongue out at him, but let him put the bracelet back on you. Current time. Tsukishima came across a CD that had his name written on it. There was also a small note with his name on it. Dear Kei, here's a list of songs that make me think of you. I know that some of them are probably cheesy, but listen to them anyways. Forever yours, YN. P.S. I love you. Tsukishima listened to that CD over and over again. He sobbed uncontrollably as he pressed replay once again. The list of songs had included some of his favorites that he had introduced to you, and you ended up liking them too. It had songs that you both would listen to. It had the songs that you would dance to in the kitchen that one night. Flashback. The radio was on, and you were both preparing dinner in the kitchen. A slow, romantic song played, and it caught your attention. Kei, dance with me, you pleaded. We're in the middle of cooking, YN. Please, please, please. This song sounds really good. No. You pouted and went back to your cooking, but an idea popped into your head. You started humming along to the song and swaying your hips a little. You had stopped your cooking and started swaying your arms and your hips to the song. What are you doing, dumbass? Tsukishima asked. Well, since you won't dance with me, I'll just dance by myself. Well, you look like an idiot, so stop. Well, do you want to help me not look like an idiot and come dance with me? He suggested. Tsukishima seemed to ponder the idea for a second before shaking his head. Oh, come on, Kei. The song is already halfway over anyways. We'll get back to cooking once it's over, I promise. You pleaded again. He let out a loud sigh and went to face you. He put his arms around your waist and allowed you to put yours on his shoulder. He had looked to the side to hide his embarrassment, his face beginning to grow a bright red. Kei, look at me. He slowly turned his face to face you to see that you were also blushing bright red. You were grinning very wide at him. Once the song had finished, it had transitioned into another slow song, and then another one, and another one. Before you knew it, you had both been staring at each other and swaying back and forth to the music for 20 minutes. The announcer's voice had snapped you out of your trance, and Tsukishima pulled away while awkwardly clearing his throat. Let's get back to cooking. Current time. Tsukishima misses you every day. It's been so hard to function without you. There are so many things that he wished he could have told you. He wanted to marry you. He wanted to have a family with you. He wanted to grow old with you. He wanted you and only you. But you were gone, and all he was left with were bitter regrets and memories. Oh my god. That was painful. The author really did me dirty, huh? That was hard. Ow. Why'd you have to recommend this, Tsukishima? Why'd you have to do that to me? Why'd you do that? That was sad. Oh my god, but that was a really beautiful written story. I really like the ending where we were dancing together. Like, come on, you can't get any cuter than that. Yes, absolutely. I hope you enjoyed that, and if you did, make sure to subscribe and tap the notification bell so you get notified every single time I post a video, and also like the video because it does something for the YouTube algorithm. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.